phone. Great, these apps.
You know, I ain't even got notifications turned on to say when we go live. Have I not done that?
Have you not subscribed to your own channel?
I've subscribed. I ain't got notifications turned on though.
Huh?
Wow.
So welcome to Shoot Some Shale.
We ain't live yet, pal. Don't we? Well, we are. I was sound checking. Right now, we can go live whenever you're ready, pal.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, let's go live.
Let's do it. Go.
So, hello, everybody. Welcome to Shoot Some Shale, where we've got a bit of a different kind of video for you this evening. We've got a bit of a discussion, rather than a debate. But some knobhead decided to put debate on the graphic. I'll take it on the chin for that one. And I'm joined by Mr. Dill as always. How are we doing on this glorious Sunday afternoon?
Glorious. I don't know where you are in the world, but it's black cloud and looks like it's going to absolutely bucket it down here.
Oh, blue skies and sunshine here, mush.
Oh, I'm coming there. Yeah, I'm all good. Busy week for us this week, but we thought we'd address some comments made by some clueless buffoon first.
Buffoon. That's a bit harsh on buffoons, to be honest, mush, but, you know.
That's not bad. But yeah, the comments that we all saw the other day, and we've got to give a massive thanks to Adam for sending us this, because he started a little bit of drama by sending it to us, and now everybody in our group chat has had their say on it, and I don't think the fella in question thought it would reach Speedway fans, and it has, and now it's coming under fire from people who actually know what they're talking about.
I can't believe you're trying to insist that there's people in Speedway that know what they're talking about.
Well, that's a sore subject. We're in Speedway. Do we know what we're talking about?
They're few and far between.
Let's have a start with Swindon Speedway and sort of what happened with their closure. You're probably better at talking about this than I am.
So, obviously, Swindon in 2019, they won I think it was called the Supporters Cup. Back then, I think it was. And then
long time ago.
And then they won the league against Ipswich in absolutely dominant form. And they had put together a team for 2020, but obviously COVID happened, and since COVID happened, obviously the council thought, well, we can kick the Speedway out, and then they've, I believe they've already built a load of houses in what used to be the pits and the car park. So sadly, Swindon cannot operate Speedway from the Abbey Stadium anymore, and it sounds like the dogs may be going from there soon, and it's all going to be houses. I won't mention who for, because that's for a non-Shoot Some Shale video. But yeah, so it sounds like it's all going to be houses, and they've got themselves a new site, which is just off the M4, I believe.
It's near the M4, yeah.
It's not a million miles off the M4, and it seems to be supported by a fair few people, apart from CLLR, don't know what it stands for.
Councilor.
Or knobhead, one of the two. Andrew Matthews of the Liberal Democrats for Wiltshire and Swindon.
His comments are very interesting, actually, when you look at it. He's 5 days ago, as of screenshotting this, but it was about 3 days since we saw it on Friday night. And there was a lot of stink kicked up by people within Speedway, fans of Speedway. And it's... so I wouldn't have an issue with him objecting to it. He's well within his right to do so. I think the thing me and you and a lot of us have got an issue with is the fact of that the objection points that he's pointed out are just barefaced lies. There's no truth
100%.
to it. There's no truth in anything he said.
No, 100%. You know, I mean, it's like, do you want me to read the post out first so our viewers know what we're talking about?
If you read out the first part, and we'll go through each of his points, and we'll dismiss them as we go.
So, Councillor Andrew Matthews of Liberal Democrats objection to the proposed Speedway track at Studley Grange. Many of you will have seen the application for a new Swindon Motorsport Speedway track on the Wiltshire side of the boundary. I have serious concerns about this proposal a track of this nature would bring. And now he goes and lists a few things, so I'll just list the first one for you now. Number 1, noise pollution, not just on race days, but from regular training and bike testing. This would disturb the local residents, mourners at the North Wiltshire Crematorium, and visitors to the Bassett Down Golf Complex, and even livestock on nearby farms. Now, all I'm saying is, Speedway normally happens at 7:30 at night. I don't quite think the dead are going to rise up and say, you can't ride there.
So, first of all, when you look at this, first of all, right, not just race days, but regular training and bike testing. This fella has clearly never watched Speedway, because if he did, he'd know that there's no regular training or bike testing for a start.
No,
A lot of riders fly in and fly out.
I mean, potentially, if this got given a go-ahead, yeah, you might have a couple of practice sessions in the winter, but they're going to be on Saturdays and Sundays anyway, you'd like to think. So, you know, it's not going to be regular. It's going to be 1 or 2 days of a week, maybe twice a month at best.
Yeah, that's true. And the next part, I ain't even going to acknowledge the crematorium one. That is the biggest load of SH1T I've ever read.
You don't go morning at 7:30 at night.
No, it's ridiculous. The golf complex one. Now, this one I can understand because there is a level of peace and quietness required by golf. But as you rightly pointed out at the start, the M4's not a million miles away, and that's going to be a lot noisier than any speedway track will ever be.
Exactly. And that's just from screaming kids in the back of cars.
Or you.
Or me.
The last one was a bit bewildering to me. Livestock on nearby farms. Now, I don't know about you, Palmer, but I've never saw a pig that's about to be slaughtered for your bacon sandwiches say, "Can you shut their bogs up? I want my last peaceful sleep before I sleep forever."
No, and to be honest, I know quite a few fat cows around, but they'd be all for having some speedway.
Oh God! So that one, the noise pollution. You can tell by this first statement he's never been to Speedway in his life. Never ever been to Speedway in his life. Because
Maybe
of how
we
much
should
he's...
invite him when they open.
I don't think he'd do it though. I don't think he'd go to a Speedway meeting to understand about it.
I don't think he'd go to a party if he was the only person on the planet and he invited himself.
No. Right, next point, Palmer.
Light pollution. Floodlighting for evening use would destroy the rural character of the area and harm local wildlife.
Now, for me, that reads that the streets of his area don't have street lights. That section of the M4 is unlit.
And that would be very, very dangerous and illegal. So, you know, BOLLOXS.
Yeah, it's...
If you ask me. And if it's going to harm the local wildlife, then maybe he should go and complain to whoever controls the sun and the clouds so that the cloud hides the sun. So these piggies and cows and dogs and cats and tigers and mice don't get the whole effect of the sun as well.
The best part of this tells me that he doesn't understand Speedway because... other than the very start and the very end of the season, through the bulk of the season, there will be no floodlighting. It's a summer sport.
Exactly.
So, I don't understand that point. The next one's laughable, considering we're right by the M4.
Traffic and safety. The rural road network simply isn't designed to cope with large volumes of cars, bikes, and support vehicles all arriving at once. The risk to road safety would be unacceptable.
The only support vehicles we have in Speedway are ambulances, and with all due respect, Mr. Councillor, everywhere needs ambulances, not just Speedway.
exactly. Every sporting event needs ambulances, amongst other things. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm not sure what Swindon's crowds were like, but let's just say, on an average, they get 2,000 fans in. Yeah, the M4, which is very close to the proposed site, has about that amount of cars going on it per minute. I don't quite think it's going to be that much of an issue, pal.
No, that's another bizarre one to me. So the first three have been completely ruled out. On the ground, they're utter bollocks. There's no truth.
Basically.
There's no truth in anything that he said in that first part, at all.
No.
Now on to
Are
the
we ready
second
for the
part.
next part?
On to the second part, which is even more fun.
The impact on Wiltshire's countryside. This proposal is completely at odds with both the Wiltshire Core Strategy and the emerging local plan, which emphasise protecting rural character, safeguarding and community facilities, and ensuring development is sustainable. So basically, what that means is farmers are going to work in the day. There might be steaming piles of horse shit in about 3 fields nearby, but you shouldn't smell it when you're at the Speedway.
So, safeguarding community facilities. This isn't just a speedway track. The plan is also including an overall motorsport facility, which would include karting and other things. It's a facility that people could come to. It's not just for people from Swindon. It will attract general people to that area, which would help the
I'd
local
go.
farmers and stuff. Exactly, yeah. It would help the local businesses. The residents may not like it, but in theory, there should be no residents nearby. It's a rural area with fields all around it.
Exactly.
The best thing. Oh, okay. We'll go to the next one for me to point out this best thing.
Right, so to point out this best thing, I'll read the next bit out for you lovely people on the YouTube. The National Planning Policy Framework, December 2024, nearly a year out of date, is also clear. Planning should protect community amenity, avoid harmful noise and light, safeguard highway safety, and recognise the beauty of our countryside. This proposal fails on all counts. Well, let's be honest here. Animals are ugly little bastards, so it's not protecting any beauty, is it? Let's be honest.
The best part of this is less than a week before we put this proposal out. He's on a similar stretch of land, not too far away. He's also saying why he has accepted and joined support of a proposal for a motorway services. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm no expert, but do services not bring in trucks, cars? They're noisy. They have lights on.
Yeah. I've never been to a service station that hasn't got trucks there, that hasn't got cars there, that hasn't got bikes there, that has all got, lights on and, got horns to make noise.
And then there's all the harmful stuff that it can send into the air. You've got all the food outlets in a service station. You've got the petrol station part of it as well. So this is the bit that boggles my mind. He's saying you can't have Speedway there because of all this, but he wants a service station nearby, which he's partying for.
You can't have Speedway, but you can come fill your trucks and everything up with petrol and grab a KFC while you're at it.
Yeah, it don't make sense.
But
we are inviting people to put their comments in the chat below to give us your thoughts on this. I also think he's been very smart in this because I think he was aiming it out for the local residents, but he's not. There's been no tag of any Save Swindon Speed. There's been no consultation with anyone from the Speedway to check his facts were correct. I think he was hoping that nobody from a Speedway background would see this and it was only local people and that they'd all get their objections in. And to an extent, it's worked.
It did work for the first 2 days it was out. And then, obviously, a good pal of ours sent it to us. And then we sent it to our mates. And then our mates sent it to their mates. And now he's just got a load of angry people on him. And, I don't know about you, but I don't think it was exactly him, but it was one of his representatives that angered my comment going for, for the Speedway.
Yeah, it was probably him that did mine as well, dick.
I'd be honest, I can't find my comment because I've got the newest up first. And the fact that of the 29 reactions there is, 16 of them are angry. I think it says
Luke has said that the community came in clutch. He bloody did.
it did. That is one good thing, you know. Speedway hasn't got a lot going for it at the minute, let's be real. But the community that Speedway has is pretty cool. And
But according to this fella, there's going to be thousands of people turning up, and there's going to be this, and there's going to be that, and there's going to be all this noise, and going to be fighting cars out and everything.
Swindon's going to be the new Cardiff. We're just going to ram 45,000 people in there to watch Swindon versus, I don't know, Kent Eagles.
And there is closing statement. I understand the frustrations of Swindon Speedway fans who lost their former home at the Abbey Stadium, but this is a problem created by Swindon Borough Council's planning decisions. It should not be pushed onto the Wiltshire communities. Last time I checked, Wiltshire was a part of Swindon.
It was, and I'm pretty sure, unless things have changed, which, knowing the way that this country is, there's every chance, but Swindon and Wiltshire are still within each other.
It's also that, it's like, the best part of this is people have commented and he's then responded with, I would have no problem in joining to support the application of getting it back to Blunsdon. The issue is where the track used to be, as you said earlier, has been started to be redeveloped, but also there's not necessarily the land to put it there. It needs to stay in and around the local area. Imagine having Swindon Speedway in Oxford. Point to that.
Won't be the point. You know, what's the point in having the Swindon Robins race in Bristol? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, can we also point out the use of an AI image that was very bad?
Oh, it wasn't great, was it?
It wasn't great.
I mean, I'm not a good drawer, but I can draw a better Speedway bike than that. And if another thing that gets me, especially in his last statement, it should not be pushed onto Wiltshire communities. Now, last time I checked, sport was a community thing.
Mm-hmm.
Speedway was a community thing. Why do you not want a community thing to be pushed into the community?
No, I don't understand it. I mean, people will have absolutely brilliant places to go to fill up their car and eat because, you know, the service station that is approved and wants.
You know, this perfect service station. What are they doing? Just giving you electric cars so you can just charge your car up while you get a bloody piece of lettuce to eat.
So we should be supporting our local communities, but those service station restaurants aren't going to be using the local farmers' stock for the meats. They're not going to be using the local shops for products. They're going to be getting them imported, the same as all the rest of it. So he wants to support the local area and all of that, but he also wants to build a service station, which isn't going to feature Wiltshire's finest meats. It's going to feature a McDonald's or a KFC or a Greggs.
Yeah, they're not going to have Wiltshire ready meals, are they? Just sat there rating. Oh, what ready meal can I get for you? Give me 2 minutes. I'll bang it in the microwave for you, darling.
No. He's closed his statement by saying, for these reasons, I will be objecting to this application and I encourage residents to do the same thing on the planning portal. Now, luckily, the Save Swindon Speedway website have put out the link to the planning portal, in which at this point there are 357 records. Now, after this post was made, there was a lot of rejections to this proposal. However, in the last 3 days since it's become public to more Speedway fans, there are a lot of registering for support, and we have put a link in the description of this video for anyone that wishes to go and support the application and try and show that this idiot's talking nonsense. Palmer, do you want to read out a couple of the interesting comments from people on there supporting the Speedway? Because there's not a lot of comments on there that are supporting what this fella's saying.
Oh, Big Nigel Carter, don't know who you are, but good evening, Nigel. They said, you don't understand anything about Speedway and you come out with these points. Shocking. It is quite shocking. Whereas, councillor Andrew Matthews comes in and says, Would you care to elaborate? I'm not against Speedway, but I am against this venue being placed in an inappropriate location. And quite frankly, it should still be at the Abbey Stadium where it belongs before the housing developments.
That's
Well, it
it.
can't go
I
back
was going
there,
to
pal,
say, go
can
and
it?
put it back there. Go on, turn the
It
houses
can't.
down.
It can't quite go back there, pal, unless you want to pay for a crane and demolish all these houses.
Talking of houses, just a quick one for you. If this was a planning application to build homes, do you think he would have the same opinion on it? If this was a planning application to build a football stadium, for example, do you think he'd have the
I
same
did,
opinion on it?
yeah, I did see one of his comments. It's probably quite far down now, and he said if he was to appeal against a new speedway stadium, he would appeal against a new football stadium, which is, I just think this guy, right, obviously popped out of his mother, and he thought, how can I be a bigger dickhead tomorrow than what I was today? Tell me I'm wrong.
You make a very fair point, and if you want to register your support, the link is in the description. It also airs the Swindon side of things as well. They go into great detail about, or just read their statement as it reads on there. So the response they got to this application, first of all, key requests and responses. They point out that they have requested numerous times and have yet to receive any confirmation of the future development of the Abbey Stadium. Will include express and legally binding conditions for the construction and availability of a new speedway track at Studley Grange. We have asked to declare our support by agreeing to the Swindon Motorsports letter dated the 27th of the 5th, which inserts the area represented as best and final chance. They've also stated that their view is Swindon already has a speedway track, and we believe that a no action statement should be determined under the future of the Abbey Stadium. And now there's a call for people to take action to avoid an issue arising in the planning process. We urge you not to endorse the Swindon Motorsport, suggesting that Studley Grange represents the best and final chance for Speedway. We call on supporters to submit a comment on the planning application as soon as possible and no later than September the 11th. So there are 4 days left before this will be heard. Comments without a planning reason will be ignored, so you need to state a reason as to why you agree with it or disagree with it. We'll obviously both be doing that as well, so that we could, we're Speedway fans, we aren't Swindon fans. We've got no, direct involvement in Swindon Speedway, but like Wolverhampton closed. Now we still have the local MP on our side, the councilor on our side, and land can't be found. This one has got the MP for the area against it, the local councillor being against it. It's got absolutely no chance unless the people who are supposed to protect the areas and support the area's growth help with that. But if it's not what they agreed to for their growth, and it's not what they want for their growth, and it's not going to make them a nice little bit of money in their pocket for the growth of the area, they don't care, do they?
A lot of MPs now, well, all of MPs now, in it for their own back pockets, and they're not in their job. Well, the people elect them, I say in quote marks, to do a job, but they're only in it for their own pockets. They're not in it for the people of the community or anything like that. They're just in it for their own pockets, and if they can make 50 quid by saying this idea is crap, let's just all do something to get people to vote against it, they're going to do it because they'll get that 50 quid. And I think it's complete and utter wrong, and that is everything that's wrong with this country, and that is everything that is wrong with knobhead bloody what's his bloody name, Andrew Matthews. That's a noncy name anyway.
I wouldn't mind if he rejected this and he had just reasons to reject it. But
if he had valid points,
all of his
then
points
fair
are lies.
enough.
They're all lies. They're all fabricated. He's made them up and he's tried to pass them off as truth, and that's the worst thing. He's lying to his people. I'll go and reject it because of this, but you can't check this. Take my word for this. If half the people who have rejected this went to Speedway and saw the benefits of Speedway, they wouldn't be rejecting this.
Absolutely not. I mean, just imagine, visiting supporters. I mean, Swindon's not a million miles from Poole. I'm sure Poole fans would go to Swindon. Oxford fans would go to Swindon. You know, hell, me and you would probably go to Swindon.
That's it, yeah, it's a new track. Look at Northside the first season, look at the Bellevue Stadium, new tracks or returning tracks. Look at Oxford for the first couple of seasons. The fans would flock all over the country of all teams, and that would benefit that area unless they put a service station in and then they'll just go and buy McDonald's.
Rather than helping massive, massive, massive worldwide brands that, let's be honest, don't really need the extra help. I mean, let's be honest, Mackey's probably sell about 10 billion quid's worth of bloody chicken nuggets every day. They don't need the extra 10 billion quid's worth of chicken nugget sales. Whereas you could make, well, you could make some money for the local community if you've got a Speedway club there. Do you know what I mean? And ultimately, as well, I mean, a lot of land is being built on for houses, but there's nowhere really now where people can go and have that community feel about it. And Speedway is one of them few places that you're gonna get where, you can meet up with your mates in a safe environment and create a good community atmosphere, but some knobheads, Andrew Matthews, don't want it.
And Roof made a good point as well, actually. He's basing his things off the noise and all this, but things have taken place in years gone by, even recent years, to try and make bikes as quiet as possible. And they are succeeding. They're not as loud as they were. Every bike has to be fitted with a silencer to buffer some of the sound, which works. There's still a little bit of noise, but it's 7:30 till, if they run on a weekday evening at a standard 7:30 start, it's 7:30 till 9:30, 9:45. There'd be a curfew for local people, I'd assume. So you'd be looking
I'd
at 10
imagine
o'clock latest. It's not going to do the most harm.
it's 2.5 hours, what, twice a month?
I was going to say, they don't even race every week.
No, they don't, and it's... Some people just don't get it, do they?
And it is usually the people that don't go to it that don't get it. They think it's this, and it's not the case, is it?
No, until you've been to a Speedway meeting and understand what happens at a Speedway meeting and the environmental stuff and all of that, you're not going to have a bloody clue. So just go once, get to understand it, and then I'm sure this knobhead would have well, actually, I don't think he'd have a different opinion, but other people with a brain might have a different opinion.
I wonder if the people with the brown envelopes, if they wanted this and he was getting paid to support this, I wonder if his voice and opinion would be different.
That wouldn't be a surprise. That almost reeks of what's been happening at Peterborough.
We've lost that many tracks and they're all in the same place. The difference is a lot of councils are supporting it. This fella, for some unknown reason, despite the land being there, because there's bloody acres of it. And I've also saw that there's a retail person that wants to buy a certain amount of this exact same land to put a store on, which I'd imagine is where this, a couple of months' time, if that goes to planning, this idiot's comments would be an entirely different kettle of fish. It'd be, that'd be brilliant for the community to have an Asda's or a Selfridges or whatever it's supposed to be on that that land.
Councillors, innit?
I just think if he's going to make a debate, at least make sure it's factually correct. Now, a lot of the local residents have probably read his comments and took it as gospel and said, okay, we'll reject this, blah, blah, blah. But if they actually tried Speedway, if you speak to someone that goes to Speedway, try it yourself. And if they did that, they'd probably have a different view.
100%.
This goes to planning, application, appeal, whatever the thing is, at some point soon. The opportunity to voice your support or objections to this closes in 4 days' time. If you have any desire to show your support or to reject it. Either way, make sure you get your say in. If you get your say in, at least then you've gave your
You've done your bit.
yeah, your bit's done. Yeah. Wiltshire Council 2020. Oh no, it weren't anything important. Also, make sure that what does it say? Comments without planning reasons will be ignored. So make sure you fill out all the relevant areas and have your say. And we'll follow this one. And if this idiot puts anything out else, we'll also talk about that. And then we'll try and keep up with what happens with the application when it gets to being discussed and voted on or rejected or approved. So what happens there. But I just think it's unnecessary spreading of lies on something that could bring a lot of revenue and a lot of exposure to the area, and a lot of it could could benefit that area of Wiltshire so much, and it's so close to the motorway, it's so easily accessible. Yet it doesn't want it there because of silly things. It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Exactly.
But we will follow this one. Talking about Speedway, what we got coming up, Palmer?
Oh boy, have we got a busy week. So coming up tomorrow, actually, in about 24 hours' time, we've got the first leg of the playoff semi-finals. Bellevue versus Ipswich, first leg. And then on Tuesday, we've got the Championship playoff semi-final first leg with the Poole Pirates hosting the Redcar Bears. Then on Wednesday, we've got the first leg of the Maxi Cab Knockout Cup semi-final as Oxford hosts the Redcar Bears. On Thursday, we've got the second leg of the Premiership playoff semi-finals with Ipswich versus Bellevue. Then we've got a night off on Friday. We've got a night off on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we're back with a double header. How lucky are you? As Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock, Workington host Berwick. And then at 7 o'clock, 7:30, sorry, it's the Championship playoff semi-final second leg where Redcar host the Poole Pirates. And then the day after that, we've got Leicester versus Sheffield. So
just a quick one before we close. Leonard's commented, some people doesn't understand that how Speedway can be a family sport together and a single need for Speedway where even it takes place. I get what he's trying to say. You can meet people, you can, it's a family sport. It's the only sport. You won't get many scraps. It's certainly not in the crowd at Speedway. You can mingle, or home and away fans, yeah, it's like no other sport.
It isn't, I mean, you can't go to football and say, as an example, you're a Man City fan. You can't go to a Man City Aston Villa game and just go to an Aston Villa fan and be like, "Hey up, pal, how you doing, me old China?" whereas at Speedway, like, I mean, hell, you was a Wolverhampton fan turned Birmingham fan turned Leicester fan.
Not necessarily a Birmingham or Leicester fan. Birmingham staff and Leicester are the only team local to the area that I've got left.
But like you're a supporter of Speedway in the Midlands, and I'm a supporter of Speedway in Lincolnshire, and if it wasn't for Speedway, I'd talk to my family a lot more than what I do now. I mean, we talk to each other all day, every day on voice message, and then we're on here normally having a chinwag 5 nights a week.
We are. Should we actually quickly talk about the people we're working with as well? Because some of them have still got some racing left this season.
Yes, they have. We are delighted to be working with some brilliant people. The Piper Boys, obviously, Ace in a couple of weeks. He goes for back-to-back British Under-19 titles,
which we'll probably do a watch-along to. I think that's the day after Dougie's testimonial, isn't it?
Yeah, I am aiming to be back on for that one, which But no, that'll be cool. If Ace could go back to back with that. We've worked with Jake Allen, who has got a couple more guest bookings coming up for Redcar. It was announced there on Friday. Can't remember which meetings it was. I think he's riding from away at Oxford on Wednesday, but don't quote me on that. Ben Barker obviously hasn't got any meetings left because he's like injured. Declan Kennedy, he's been signed with us, but obviously his main team were a bit crap, so he hasn't got any meetings left. Simon Lambert, who's been very good with us, he might have a couple more guest bookings. I'm sure Berwick's got a meeting, so he'll get called up. Who else do we work with? Ben Morley, who's obviously had a good meeting today. And I believe
on
he's
Friday as well.
He did. He did. That was some meeting. And yeah.
Scunny were the other one.
Oh yeah, and Scunny.
You try to forget about them though. And we can also confirm that we've got deals in place to return to working with, well, technically 4 of the riders from this season already, before the season's even ended, which is nice for us, nice for them. Gives us a chance to get everything prepared, ready for the winter. But if you can follow their social media pages, obviously Ace Piper's got plenty of action left with Redcar, and all the others are now going to be preparing for their winters and stuff like that. But follow the people who help us. We work with some really good people. Follow our friends. We work with some really good people. And
we do, despite what other people say about them. They're really, really nice people.
Yeah, been sound with us.
We've read up, but yeah.
So as Palmer just said, we're back tomorrow night at around about 7:25, because obviously TNT doesn't go on till 7:30. It might even be 7:30.
Yeah, it probably about this time, 24 hours.
Yeah, and then we'll be back a touch earlier on Tuesday with the BSN meeting, as Palmer said. Wednesday, I'm a little bit concerned about the weather forecast early doors, but it can always change. But a nice busy week after a very bloody quiet one last week with Oxford getting rained off on Thursday.
Thanks, Oxford.
Thanks to everyone who's been in the comments. There's been a couple come in. We'll see how the views do on this, see what people think of what we've said, and go from there. Palmer, do you want to wrap us up for the evening?
So, I've been Dan, he's been Dylan, and we've been talking about Swindon. So thanks for tuning in tonight, and hopefully we'll catch you all back here, and maybe some more of you, who knows, in about 24 hours time. Have a pleasant Sunday evening and a Monday.